Hi everyone! Welcome to another local show with Casey, and we're going to be having the band Creature Comfort from Nashville, Tennessee here today. And as we wait for them to join, just wanted to let everyone know that there will be a giveaway at the end. You have to comment in order to win, so make sure you comment, and you shall see if you have won. Waiting for them to join. And waiting. Hello!
Hey, how's it
How's,
going? We're
how's it
sort of spread out on a porch right now, so but
Oh, cool.
we're here. We made it.
Yeah. How are you guys? How's your day been?
We're good. It's hot here in Tennessee. Very humid and muggy, but we're making it.
Yeah, it's hot here too. I just thought I'd remind everyone that you should comment if you want to win your T-shirt and your vinyl and your stickers. That way, you can be entered to win, and the giveaway winner will be announced at the end. So,
We,
so pretty awesome.
yeah,
So you guys are going to be performing a few songs for us today, right?
we've got like 2 or 3 songs worked up. I don't know how many you want us to play or
Yeah,
whatever.
just we'll take it one question at a time. See,
Okay.
and then
Cool.
I'll tell you guys when we're about ready. But to start off, like, how did you guys meet? How did this band form?
It's a long story. We've actually been a band since uh, 2000 October 31st, 2011. January 1st, 2012 was our first technical show under the name Creature Comfort. So we've been around for a long time. I had a band in college, and Cole here. This is Cole. I'm Jesse, but like I had a band in college, and a bunch of the members quit, and we sort of reformed. And I needed a bass player, and Cole
and a new name.
Yeah, and a new name. Cole, I knew from high school, so we joined up and started writing music. And this is Charlie. Charlie also went to high school with us. He's been in the 2 years now.
Is that right?
Yeah,
almost 2
2018.
years.
Yeah, 2 years. And then this is Alex. We picked him up along the way too. We're just a bunch of friends that I've been lucky to have good music and friends in my life to keep it going, I guess.
We got one more, but he's
On vacation.
Yeah, our drummer, he couldn't make it today, but I've been with him since I was 5. So four of us grew up together. Like we, lived in the same city, grew up in the same small town. So
Did you guys grow up in Nashville, or did you grow up in a different town?
about an hour and a half southeast, a place called Tullahoma.
yes,
And then Alex is from Johnson City.
Yeah,
so
it's-
not too-
Tullahoma, Tennessee, and then Johnson City we're all Tennesseans. I
Have you
guess.
ever heard of George Dickel whiskey?
It sounds really familiar.
We're from where they make George Dickel.
Yeah.
And we're about 15 minutes away from where they make Jack Daniels.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's in the other direction is where they do
Yeah.
Bonnaroo every year. So it is a nexus of vice.
Debauchery.
Yeah, a lot of debauchery. That's right.
So how does that differ from where you guys grew up to being in Nashville? Is it a big culture shock at all, or how does that transfer?
Tullahoma's much more refined and sophisticated.
I feel like that's a joke.
Yeah, no, it's very much so. I mean,
I miss all the opera in Tullahoma.
I mean, I moved to Nashville. Cole and I went to college in Middle Tennessee State University, which is like in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And then when I got done with college, I moved to Nashville. And I mean, I guess when I moved here is when things really started changing. Like as a kid, I didn't think Nashville was like a cool place at all. I'd go there twice a year just to go to the mall.
Mall and laser tag.
Yeah,
That's
and
not
laser
all-
tag.
that's
Yeah,
not all I really recognize.
yeah, and then I remember the first week I was here, I met someone who had just moved to Nashville from Seattle, And I had just been to Seattle for the first time, and I was like, "What are you doing here?" And like, "Oh, Nashville's awesome. You don't know." And I'm like, "What? What do you mean I don't know? I grew up here."
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So I mean, we sort of landed here at the right time, I think, for being creative. I guess at least in what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you have different life plans before music came about? Because you said you went to college. So did you go to college for music?
I went for music business, which is, I think, the closest degree of any of us to actually like music-oriented education. Jesse's a pharmacist. Charlie's in law school. Alex is a ESL teacher.
Yeah, high school
other
teacher.
things.
So yeah, we all have day jobs.
Yeah, this is not what we.
No, but we've been playing. I mean, we've all been playing since we were kids, pretty much, and so there has been a through line of art throughout that we never really like ditched, you know. So yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's always been there. Always
Yeah.
done.
How long have you guys individually been playing music?
I mean, our whole 15 years at least.
Yeah.
15,
Who's-
a little more.
yeah,
I started playing when I was 13,
Yeah, same.
and I'm 28. Cole and I started playing at the same time, and we're the same age, so I guess we
About
both,
15 years now.
yeah, close
Give
to
or
it.
take.
what about you, Al? You've been playing.
I started playing piano when I was 5, but then
Young Nuts on.
I didn't pick up anything with strings on it until I was probably like 13, 14, and started playing guitar. And so that's been a long time. I don't know.
He
Yeah.
had to rock.
I had to rock. Yeah.
Yeah, I sing, so I mean,
You did singers back.
yeah, I mean, I'd sang the first time there was a choir in school, and I've been singing ever since. So
What sparked your guys' interest to get involved with music? Was it a family thing, or was your parents like, go do it, or were you just kind of like, no, I want to do this?
I wasn't good at anything else. I mean, really, it's. Well, I mean, half joking, but honestly, yeah, just it's the only thing that kind of made sense in my life, you know. So.
My dad's he's a high school English teacher, but he's also a classical musician. He plays the upright bass. So
Oh, cool.
I always had music in my family. Yeah.
Hmm.
Kind of what
I didn't really have music. So I mean, my grandmother, she could play like 5 songs on piano and 3 songs on guitar, but for me, it was mainly like my dad claims that he can play the radio really well. So, I just grew up singing like 90s country songs pretty much, and I mean, how I got into it. I don't know about how.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have thought through. We set it up for a performance.
Yeah.
So that's why we're all spread out right now. But
Okay, that's okay. However it works.
Yeah, I mean, music as a career was definitely something that was always kind of like in the realm of possibility just because it was something that I had done for so long. But my parents, I mean, nobody was really musical. It was just they had a really deep appreciation of it, which is why I grew up like learning and playing classical and stuff, but they also loved like folk music, bluegrass, and so that was really big because I'm from East Tennessee, which is like Appalachia, and so that's where all of that comes from. It's just the folk stuff.
Yeah.
Got me interested.
All right, cool. You guys all have your own different little stories to tell about how music came about in your lives, so that's pretty cool. Sometimes it's all like kind of like, well, just happened. With your guys' name, Creature Comfort, did that come from Arcade Fire? I was gonna ask you about that. How did that come about?
they jacked it for
That's
us.
on the record.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we played in 2017. We won this contest that Miller Lite used to host called Road to Rue, and you win the contest. It's like a bracket style contest. You get to play Bonnaroo, and we won. And Bonnaroo's like, we grew up going to Bonnaroo, like it was in our backyard, and that's was very inspirational, I think, for us children. But Yeah, so the day before Bonnaroo, we released a new single, and I remember like looking online just to search to see, how the single was doing, and I saw like Arcade Fire released his new single today called Creature Comfort, and it just overshadowed any like searching for our name.
Anyone that wanted to look up Creature Comfort, like to see what time they played at Bonnaroo or like when they were playing, you weren't going to find it. It was all Arcade Fire.
Yeah, it just overshadowed us. So that's why we have a song called Arcade Fire now, just to,
Be like,
Krypton.
yeah.
Well, and when I got there, I kicked Win Butler's ass.
That's right.
I was crying.
Yeah. Now,
that's crazy. Oh my gosh. That's what?
yeah.
That's wild. That's crazy. Yeah, because I was gonna mention that because I saw you guys had a song called Arcade Fire, so I was like, this has to be some sort of.
Yeah. Well, it's funny when like 2 days after we put it out, my friend was on Reddit and they were like, "Hey, look at this!" And someone posted on Arcade Fire subreddit our song, and it was just weird to watch people. So like some people were like, "Oh, we like this." Like it's not Arcade Fire. One guy's like, "Well, some bands name their band after or name their songs after famous." And I was like, "Dude, you don't get it. We've been around since 2012."
Yeah.
So.
I saw that they released that in like 2017, and I was like, I mean, that's kind of like early. I feel like you guys would have been formed before then, so I was like,
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. That's the thing. Like, literally right now, someone decided they were going to name their musical project Creature Comfort, uploaded it like 2 days ago online, and now our Spotify has a different person's like music on a single of ours. So we have to get that moved. So it's just like, it's not, I don't understand why people just don't do the research, care to do the research.
It's a problem with having a name that's an idiom.
Yeah.
Like, because you see why people have all these stupid names now with no vowels, but these.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the
Waves,
Urban Outfitters.
always.
Yeah, like you see why people do that though, because there's no chance of
Your
someone
SEO's
else.
wrecked,
Yeah, the
you know?
SEO.
Because Creature Comfort, if you search in Google, you're likely to find like a doggy daycare or
Yeah.
like a pet supply
Or
store,
a brewery
or-
in Athens.
or a
Yeah.
brewery in Athens, and this other band, it's an Arcade Fire song, so it's like,
Yeah.
hey, I mean, you gotta find.
In retrospect, we should have replaced all the A's or all the
O's and zeros.
Zeros.
That's what I do on Twitter.
Yeah.
really funny. So how would you guys like describe your music? Because I know that some of your songs are pretty like rocky, and then the recent single that just came out, Big Buff and Handsome, is pretty folky. And so I didn't know what made you guys kind of like transition and what got you interested in doing like a different type of song.
That's a.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. When you're writing them, I guess it doesn't really it's not really clear at the outset what exactly, it'll turn into. But like, I think for Big Buff and Handsome in particular, like that riff, which we wrote several years ago, like early on, when you're kind of hacking.
Oh, it cut out. Hey, we're back. It cut out for a second. Also,
Okay.
Instagram's a little weird, so it might happen. If that happens, if for some reason we have to like end the live, I'll just restart another one. You just join again.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Instagram. You're right about that.
But no, I mean, that progression, I think, just lent itself sort of a, country.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
jam,
also,
guess.
like,
Jesse writes such good songs that they could be arranged in any genre.
oh,
This is-
that's so sweet.
It's true. I mean, if you have a good song, it can be in any.
I think the real reason, at least
know.
this one is what it is Al and Charlie, they joined the band right before we recorded these songs. We brought them into the studio, and we had already had the songs written, so they sort of went through a rewrite process. And, you know, Al, as he mentioned earlier, is like, you know, folk man.
He's playing
Yeah.
banjo.
Yeah, well,
It was your idea to put banjo
Jesse
on
sent
this.
me a demo of the song, and it was like this real stripped down version, and I kept hearing banjo over top of it, which is like the only Creature Comfort song that I've had that thought with, because it does not vibe with, you know, this is not gel down. And I was like, you know, I'm going to pitch this, but you might not like it. And we tried it out, and that it ended up kind of working on that song. And but it also is kind of, I don't think banjo is going to become a regular staple of the band. But I mean, we're all from pretty rural places in Tennessee, so it was not completely out of step.
No, yeah.
And it's honestly kind of a little bit of a, I don't know, homage to all of that in a song, but it ended up working.
I think it kind of makes it, frankly.
Yeah.
Tied it all together.
Tied the room together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw you guys' music video, which I love, by the way. I thought the Bigfoot was so cool. I don't know how much like planning or how. So how did you guys come up with that idea? Were you just like, how did that happen? You know?
Well, that wasn't our original idea, but because of COVID-19, like the original concept that we had involved a lot of extras, small room, and there's this director in here in Nashville. His name's Casey Pierce, and I really like the videos that he's done, and I, you know, wanted to do a video. He was brainstorming ideas, and you know, one day he was like, "I don't think we can do this original concept that you want because of, you know, COVID and everything." But he had this idea because there's one of the lyrics in the song is he has a whiskey and gets lost in the trees, and he sort of thought about like, what if a person gets lost in the trees forever, like in the woods? What do they become? And thought of Bigfoot, and then that's where all that sort of came together. So that was pretty much all his doing of the directors. So
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I thought who played the Bigfoot?
our friend Jake, he plays in this band in town called Pet Envy.
Shouts out to Pet Envy.
Yeah, they're
Go
great.
look them.
But yeah, he's like super tall and super nice guy, and I was like, hey, will you do this? You know, he really came through. So
He was a well. He even shaved off his beard for it.
yeah,
Big deal.
Yeah.
Ironic.
Yeah.
That's ironic. Yeah.
It is. But no, I mean, yeah, and that was a hot day too. And he's just toughing it out. We're shoving ice packs down his trousers. But it,
I like when you guys are swimming at the end. That's pretty cool. And he has a really cool, maybe it's like a drone shot of him. Like,
yeah. Yeah,
was, yeah.
it was crazy. Right as that shot was happening, there was like a storm coming on the lake.
You could
We're-
see it like dropping on the
On
across the lake.
yeah, you could see it raining. We're like, oh no, like it's, and like we, you know, lucked out and it didn't rain on us.
Yeah.
We got the
That's great.
yeah.
Why don't you guys start off with your first song, you know?
Alright.
And I'll be here. Enjoy.
Okay. I'm gonna try to. Does this flip the camera? Yeah, that
Yeah.
flips the camera. All right, we have it set up sort of so you can see. I have a tripod.
Oh wow, fancy,
Yeah, we
fancy.
did some testing, so hopefully this works. Yeah, I'm probably gonna block some people in the frame, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
Actually, probably just cut my head off. There you go. All right. Speaking of Big Buff and Handsome, I guess that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Start with it.
Awesome.
You ready? In and out of sleep, I see the forms on the horizon. Moved up in time, Jesus, I'm
That's great.
Wait.
Woohoo! That's awesome.
We could. Yeah, it's too far away to get us all in the frame, so I'm gonna have to hold this again. All right.
You're all good.
Sweet.
The extra little setup.
Yeah, it's really neat.
It's
We
pretty
tried-
awesome.
Yeah, no, it's super nice. It's just super humid because all the hurricane rains are heating up and filling the atmosphere. You know.
Yeah. So with that song, like how is the lyric writing, the songwriting process, right? Like with that?
Well, this song, well, as a band, realistically, like, we're all very involved in the writing process. Now, usually someone will like come up with an idea. Like I write the lyrics, most of them. Like even if I don't necessarily write the first lick or riff or progression, but for that song, it's the only song I've ever written where I wrote the lyrics and everything first. I was on a plane to Seattle actually, and
Seattle.
I do love Seattle. But yeah, it was like 6:30 in the morning, and the sun was coming up over the clouds, and that's why it's like in and out of sleep, the orange on the horizon. And so I was like, usually I write melody and progression and lyrics time, or I'll do melody and progression and then a couple of lyrics later. So I just wanted to try doing it the opposite way. Worked out.
That's awesome. Yeah, I really like it. I was listening and I was like, yeah, these are really unique lyrics, and I feel like it takes a special mindset is for those type of lyrics to come about.
Yeah, really sleepy mindset.
Yeah. Do you find like, I mean, especially with everything going on right now, has it been easier or harder to write lyrics and songs?
I haven't done a lot of writing recently. I've written a few things. I sort of, the way at least I get most of my lyrical concepts or ideas is usually either driving or when I'm in the shower, or most importantly when I'm laying down at night. Sometimes I'll like just lay the guitar on my body while I'm like trying to go to sleep, and that's where I get most of my ideas from. During this time though, I mean, we've been releasing music and I haven't been writing a lot because there's a lot involved with the release strategy and preparing social media and content,
All the boring stuff.
all the content.
Yeah. How have you guys dealt with like, I mean, like really big bands, they have their own like social media people and promotion people, but I'm sure like you guys have to do that probably the majority of you yourself. So how does that, how do you feel about that?
We have a team of people helping us, not necessarily posting on social media, but like coming up with ideas and like suggestions, or like, hey, you need to be doing this, or you should think about this, etc. So our drummer, his partner, she has a company called Lunacy Media, like a digital distribution management, sort of catch up, record label in a sense. And she helped me out a lot. And then my girlfriend, she is currently doing our PR, Lori Liebig, and she's out a lot with things like, hey, you should do this, etc. So I definitely have help, but at the end of the day, it's still most of the time me posting, but yeah, I don't know. It's not the fun part.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. With your guys' music, who do you think you gain the most inspiration from? Do you have any other artists or bands that you kind of look up to? And
Weird question. I feel like as
Billie Eilish.
yeah.
Joke.
I feel like as a group, like there's a little bit of cross. Like if you did a Venn diagram, like some artists that cross, but like just the tips. You know what I mean? I think that's what makes the music somewhat unique. At least in a sense, That's another reason why all of our songs don't sound the same.
Mhm.
Like you were saying, like I think on this record we're gonna come out there. It's gonna come out in October, sort of 3 types of songs. At least I There's like the folk type, and there's like the like really rocky ones, and then there's like the like I don't know.
I like the idea of a
indie
band
rock.
having like knowing exactly one band that they're.
Well,
like,
no,
you know,
I mean
you know Beach House.
that's no, I mean,
that's
and I've been at band practices in college where you know, members have been like, all right, guys, what two bands do we sound like?
Yeah.
Like, whoa, that ain't how this works.
We need that hybrid.
We've really
Yeah.
been Alien Ant Farm.
Big inspiration for us. Yes.
No, in all seriousness, I mean, I drew a lot of influence from Modern Mouse, for me personally, and then Andrew Bird is one of my favorite artists, and also Bright Eyes. Sort of those three. A lot of indie rock is what I'm about, but I know everybody else is very different.
Yeah, because then I come everything up. To
Nine Inch Nails.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
But
like-
I mean, Cole and I both like Nine Inch Nails a lot, and we both like David Bowie a
and
lot.
Steely Dan.
And Steely Dan
Probably
and
the
Prince.
most.
Probably
Yeah.
Steely Dan the
And
most, but
Prince the
I
most.
won't
It's
say that like I was necessarily thinking of all those bands when I played with Creature Comfort.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, when I was playing on this album, I was thinking a lot about Dwayne Allman from the Allman Brothers. I was thinking a lot about Joey Santiago from the Pixies. I was thinking Carl Bromel from My Morning Jacket.
Yeah.
Page, always thinking about him, probably. To be Johnny Marr, too. You can definitely hear me ripping on Johnny
Yeah.
Marr all over this.
Yeah, big time.
You know, the Smiths are huge for me. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I do my sort of position in the band to play a lot of different things, a lot of different songs, which, in addition to meaning schlepping a lot of gear, it means that, my you know, I've kind of gone at it with. I love Wilco, but there's something about their ability as just like this amalgamation Americana band to bring like all these different things to it and make it fit. So that's something that I kind of go at it with, this kind of idea of like, well, how are we going to make keys fit into this, or how are we going to make strings fit into this, or whatever it is.
Al's
Yeah.
a really good. Alex is a great problem solver, musical problem solver.
Yeah. For sure.
He always has the right chord to throw in or the right instrument for it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I just tend to turn the
Do you guys ever have some creative differences when you're writing and playing together and you're like, get a little...
Yes, but it's never insurmountable or like ugly. It's always like give and take. When you're writing in a group, it's give and take, and like you
I've-
just kind of have
I've
to
been in
accept it.
Yeah, I've been in situations where it's not like that. Not so much with this lineup of this band, or like in other bands I've played. There's been a lot harsher criticism. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I can play bass, I can play drums, but like the whole point is like I'm not that like that's not what I excel at. And you know, I think one thing that makes like a true band really cool is because you're giving people that excel in a particular instrument to, you know, write the best that it can be. Like, do the, yeah.
I feel like because it was kind of a new lineup, Charlie and I joined, and then we almost immediately hopped into the studio to work on this record. It was like we developed as a almost new group this new ear and new sound for what we wanted this band to be. And so now it's not like having to fight to preserve like, I'm bringing the folk to the party, and if you don't like it, you know, it's all like we've kind of figured out what we want this group to sound like together. And so now we've honed in on that, what that is. And so we kind of can approach everything from the same, without there being any kind of tension of like, oh, we need it to be more of a, you know, more of this, less of that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all very vague, what I said, I think.
No,
Yeah. No.
That,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That totally made sense. I mean, with anything that's going to have a number of people, you want to be able to come to a common conception and everything about what you're about and how you go about a certain thing. And even though it sometimes may not work out the way you want it, it's still gonna come out the way you want it. So
It's gonna
It'll-
come.
Yeah.
One way or another.
Yeah.
it'll get there eventually. Should we do another song?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Alrighty.
Hope we're in tune.
So, what do you think is gonna be? What's your next one you're gonna play?
This song is called Heartstrings.
Okay.
This is it's technically the first thing on the album. We released it last August, so because we played a festival here in Nashville, Live on the Green, last August. Well, yeah, last August, and we were like, well, let's put out a single. So, but yeah, it's called Heartstrings. Let's have this guy up. It's funny to. This is funny. It's just all fun. Life is weird, y'all.
Do it. He handed me the tuner as soon as we were done playing. Yeah.
Alright, ready? Yeah. Oh, I guess I might have my count. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably in the kitchen, they've rolled up under the fridge or something, and you acted like you don't give a damn. Standing in the bathroom, turning on the sands, and you think me gone. This way, oh, this way, oh, that's a good on. Time to speak to your heart, and then walk away. I'm late. To the sound of thunder, sitting on the porch in the golden hour, some self-reflection can make it so good, but you want to feel it, just knock it over. Oh, and I can't get it, I couldn't get you just break, oh, just break your bones. Wish you didn't have time to speak to my heart, still walking
Yay! Great.
It's really funny to play music live right now,
I know.
especially in this setting.
I bet your neighbors are like, "Wow, they're good."
Hope so.
I hope, yeah, we can only hope.
Yeah,
Um,
they enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, I guess what's the music scene like in Evansville? Like, is there like are shows happening, or what's quarantine like? What's you know?
Well, for Evansville, I know that if you want to see a show, most of the time you have to be 21 because they're in bars and lounges and stuff. So I like personally haven't been to any because
Oh,
of that,
oh,
because I'm 20. And so, but I do know that there is the Boca Lounge here in Evansville, and I know Corduroy Orbison was just there recently and they performed. And so I think that there's still a little bit of performing going on, maybe not as much, but there still is, as things start to open up again, people are starting to perform more, which is cool. So yeah.
Nashville,
You guys
we're
down.
very survived right now. Like,
Yeah, it's go
yeah,
any show.
Mm. Yeah, and that's unfortunate, like I'm sure with the whole COVID situation, a lot of what you guys do has been switched up and changed around, and you're probably trying to figure out how you're gonna do things now. So, I mean, if you want to go into that a little bit, that would be great.
yeah. I mean, it's weird. Like, we're putting out this record. We're gonna try to figure out a way to do some sort of like online record release. What I would like to do is in our hometown, actually, Tullahoma, there's a drive-in theater, and I saw that they had a show like last weekend. So part of me is like, I don't know. Granted, it was like a DJ, so I don't know like what the audio situation is. But that would be really cool to do like a drive-in show. And we recently got a van. So, I mean, we can't really travel anywhere to use it.
All band up and nowhere.
Yeah, all band up, yeah. But we've done one like live stream, and I don't mean just like a, with a phone or like in front of a webcam. Like we did where we, had a really good camera running, good audio and stuff. We've done one of those, and people to do some more stuff like that. It's sort of weird because like, I personally, like, I love live music, but I don't know that I like, or I'm nearly as enticed by, like, watching a live stream show. It's just not the same because half of the fun is, like, sharing the energy of the room with the other people that are there. And it's definitely one thing that is lacking, I'd say.
I mean, it's I can't underestimate how much it's decimated Nashville's economy.
Yeah.
Like, this is a tourism town. It's a live music town. It's what tourism's like a
Yeah.
$1 billion industry, literally $1 billion industry here, and we just don't have that right now. It's a lot of people. Like, honestly, the musicians are kind of the least of the concern because there's this large infrastructure that goes into live music in Nashville and the live entertainment in Nashville. And I mean, all these people, you think about the road people, the sound people, lights, all the bar staff,
Entire ecosystem.
this whole ecosystem of unemployed people. It's really awful.
And in, I think it's 12 weeks, like, so many important venues here are closed permanently.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even have anywhere to play
Yes.
when it gets over.
Go sign that.
Save Our Stage.
Yeah, go find that. We should put a link up
Yeah.
somewhere.
Old Klobuchar coming in. But that's her bill, right?
Yeah.
Really?
It's.
I think so. She's a ghost.
I know James. That one that James Murphy met with Chuck Schumer about. I don't know if it's going anywhere, but it doesn't hurt to sign it. So
Yeah.
go look that up.
If you like
Very
live
important.
music, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, seriously.
It's a really critical situation. Not to go doomer mode, but like, I mean, seriously though, it's like it's very disconcerting.
And it's because when it comes back, it's not going to come back. Like, if those all do close, they're not going to be replaced again by actual people.
Yeah, they're
owning
going
them.
to turn them into high rises.
Or they'll
Yeah.
still be
Usually.
venues. They'll still be venues, but they'll be bought by some corporate thing that messes up the booking, and live bands never get to play, or local
never play
bands
the Exit In ever again.
Yeah,
It's some
local
nightmare
Live
scenario.
Nation presents.
Yeah, live.
Yeah, Live
seriously.
Nation presents the Exit In gift shop,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and So
by the board.
yeah, sorry to be a bummer.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you're watching this and haven't,
I
at
I
least
totally agree with you. Like yeah, places are struggling a lot, and there's not a whole lot we can do because obviously this is like out of our control for the most part. I mean, obviously wear a mask and all that kind of good stuff and be safe and all that stuff, but until
Yeah.
somehow we get control of the situation, it's going to be a really hard time for people. And it's also like, I mean, not to, get political or anything, but like it's going to be really hard, like this upcoming election, and like that's coming up too, and like there's just so many things, happening right now with like the whole Black Lives Matter. There's like women in the music industry coming out about sexual assault. There's just a lot going on right now. And, there's so many things to focus on. And, there are a lot of things people can do is like sign petitions or donate. And so it's important that you do those things because, without that help, people sometimes, in my opinion, don't believe that just them can do anything, but I think that's totally wrong. I think that, when there's one, there's going to be another, and there's going to be more. So please do go petitions because, some artists really need your help, and especially like in this world, everything is connected to me, like everything is like that. Everything is connected to everything is how I think about it. So like, one thing might stop and then the other thing might stop because of that, so but I agree.
Yeah.
It's a short answer. But yeah, so no, I totally get what you're saying with that. It's hard. I know that Nashville not too long ago, a couple months ago, they had a tornado.
Oh yeah, dude, 2020 sucks.
I still can't tell you, like, I think because it didn't receive enormous national coverage, the impact this tornado had on Nashville was, like, huge. Like, I went for a run this morning, and there's 5 points in East Nashville. Half of it's still
Gone. Yeah.
Like, we have still not recovered from the tornado, and while this stuff was literally hit with COVID.
yeah, it was like it ruined everything structurally, and it really took a bite out of people's morale going into the existential threat of a global pandemic, and so it's like, whew, it's just
rough.
It's been a year,
Yeah.
Because I was supposed to go see a show at the Basement in East Nashville, and it's not there anymore. Like,
yeah, they're rebuilding.
They're one of the rebuilt ones.
They're if they can get through COVID, that's probably that was like my favorite place to play, to be honest.
That's mine too.
The stage,
yeah.
There's a lot of good stages here, but I love that venue, and that was, man, oh god, it sucked.
Yeah.
I was, man, the night of the tornado too. Like it really shook me.
It was really scary.
I was out at a bar in East Nashville, like, and my girlfriend was like, "There's a tornado," and I'm like, "I grew up in Tennessee. We always get tornadoes. Like, not a big deal." And then, like, moments later, the wind gets really bad, and I'm at the bar, and I go inside, and it blows by, and I didn't think anything of it. And I go home, and then you see the Basement East is destroyed, and like, it just bad.
Yeah, crazy times that we're living in right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know, with that, and in normal situations and normal, times, what do you think is like the most rewarding part about the music industry?
Rewarding?
Yeah, rewarding.
Certainly in the money.
The glamour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know.
I think for me personally, I think it's really cool to connect with people. It's like, there's something really special about that. And I mean, as a lover of music and a listener of music, I mean, that's all you really want to do is, just help convey like feelings that other people are also feeling. So they're not necessarily alone in that feeling. At least, that's a sort of a very happy way to look at it, or one way to look at it. But that's sort of how I feel, I think, deep down inside.
Yeah, I mean, and I just like having fun with my friends too.
Yeah, I
Really,
mean,
on that,
yeah.
performing
I mean-
synchronized activity, it's really satisfying.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like playing.
No.
But I mean, it's also one of those things. When it's good, it's really good, and when it's bad,
It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
yeah. So I mean, but that's show business, baby.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. it's it's tough. Everything has pros and cons in this world, so
Yeah.
when it comes to good.
No, there was just a moment here. It's just the thing of Instagram. Jesse started to turn the phone to Hal.
And
As
I
if
was
Hal
like,
were going to say something. And then he said no and returned it back.
sorry.
He can talk, yeah. If
My bad.
No, he doesn't
It's
want to
all
talk.
good.
I was like,
It's
hey,
all
you
good.
want to talk? And he's like, I don't have nothing to say.
That's funny. I mean, I'm glad you all are pitching in your own things, because sometimes it's just like one person and that's like answering for the whole thing, and I'm like,
We're
Like-
and we're not, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So should we move on to your next song?
yeah. I think this is the last one that we rehearsed. We could probably fish another one out, but that might be scary. But
One's
we'll do
good.
this one. This is the first time we've performed this, like,
Yeah.
live ever. So this
Cool.
will be interesting.
Mike will. Mike will.
Mike Willman.
It begins with a question.
Oh.
All right. Did that work? Yeah, there you go. All right. How do I spend my time? All that I want is to have nice things and put them in my heart, where I belong and get to sleep. What's the point of doing anything? Like I remember all of my dreams, or what the future holds, or so what I've been told happens to me. And so I let the poison tree off of my lips. Now your feelings fail to mention that they might end up feeling like this, feeling like this, feeling like this. Now I'm turned to the dark side. I reach for the fork, but I have no knife. I wouldn't fly. Just watch me back my eyes. What do you think? When and where will my begin? Feel like the beginning has reached out the waving of a hand. It's something I can't stand to ever see. And so I let the poison drink off of my lips. Where your feelings feel to me, and they might end up feeling like this, feeling like this, feeling like this. Living 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 like this.
Awesome. That was great.
Performance of the
What's that one called again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that called again?
Oh, there we go. That's called Dark Side.
Dark Side. Yeah, I thought I heard it
Dark-
before. I was like, I've heard that.
Yeah. The single before last that we released.
It on the stage. It was great. I loved it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's playing on 95.7 Spin.
Sweet.
But
Thank
yeah, that was good. What's the inspiration behind that one?
That one I wrote. It was like right when I became a pharmacist. Oh, got a lawnmower. This might be hard. Right when I became a pharmacist and had like money for the first time in my life, and I had this little house I was renting, and I lived alone, and I don't know. I was sort of having a weird like quarter life crisis, I suppose. It's like, what do I do now? You know, I'd been going for 8 years, and then if you count K through 12, whatever that is, so you know, learning how to live outside of school and being a student. I want to go. Well, that'd be all right, maybe. To the next door neighbor.
I don't know. That seemed like
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can hear that too.
Uh,
But you're good. I can hear you mostly. So.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, that's how I feel once I graduate. I'll be like, okay, so what now?
Yeah. I mean, it was like when I first like got to pay stuff, I was like, ooh, I need to go buy antique furniture, and like, no, I don't. Like, I mean, maybe, but like, I don't know. It's just like, I was having a weird time. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had to have a Versace intervention with I said, Jess, you can't always wear Gucci loafers. You're not the Pope.
That's awesome. So I always tend to do.
Say that again.
What?
I sorry, we were laughing so loud I couldn't hear what you were saying.
It's okay. So I always tend to do some like fun questions at the end. So
All right,
let's
sweet.
do a couple of those. Let's see what I have. Let's go. So if you could have one person narrate your life, who would it be?
Oh my God.
Michael Douglas.
narrate my life.
Michael
Maybe
Douglas.
Michael Douglas, actually, yeah.
I think it'd be really funny to have old. You probably don't know
Who?
old Greg.
No.
All right. Well, back in the day, there was a thing called YouTube, and
Yeah. I know what I
no, it's a joke. But during YouTube's inception, there's a show. It's a British sketch comedy show called The Mighty Boosh, and there was this viral video called Old Greg. So look it up after. You don't know about. But it's a really weird accent. I think it'd be really funny if my life were narrated. by
Sam
Greg.
Houston would be a good one.
Could be cool.
Oh yeah.
That'd be very good.
That's like an actual good one.
Yeah.
That's
That's
an
an actual
actual
one.
tier one. Who else?
Ooh, I would like Werner Herzog. That would be cool. Have that really thick, kind of scary German accent.
Yeah.
Narrating my darkest. That would be cool.
Joy Behar
Okay.
from The View.
Yeah, that would be nice. Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough.
Yeah, that's a. Never thought about that. Yeah.
Queen Latifah.
I would do Dolly Parton.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
gosh,
that's strong.
Dolly. Yeah.
She would be cute. I'd love it. But also, I don't know. She's so like happy. I feel like I'd have some dark times in my life, and she'd just be like, "It's all right, honey."
Yeah, exactly.
No, Dolly, it's not all right.
Yeah,
She
she
did.
does.
Yeah,
She
that's
does.
true. That's true.
She's been through it though too. Yeah. So another thing, if you could use one song to describe either like you or your life or your outlook on life, what would you do? Oh, apparently there's a limit on these. I didn't know there was a limit
Oh,
because
really?
it's saying that there's like it's only so much remaining.
Better answer quick.
So I don't know. I can come if you want after this.
It's up to you.
Yeah, let's do that. But
All right.
I'm gonna end this,
Okay. And we'll
and
read.
then I'll come back on.
Sounds good.
All right, great. Thank you.